I'm Jane reporting for Jane Unchained outside the historic Hendry County Courthouse. This is a community outside Fort Myers, Florida, in Southwest Florida that is in the midst of a raging legal battle. Here's the lawsuit. And today, the judge in this building ruled this lawsuit can go forward. Animal Legal Defense Fund filed this lawsuit on behalf of local residents who said they were kept in the dark when the county secretly approved a massive facility to house and breed over 3,000 monkeys without letting local residents know anything about it. They're thrilled at this decision, but not happy with their county. Here's one of the attorneys who was representing the local residents and a lot of news media here from the Fort Myers area, talking to various landowners, homeowners, this lady, this gentleman, that lady over there, and one of the plaintiffs is this gentleman. Billy, thank you for speaking to us. What's your reaction to the judge's decision that allows this lawsuit where you were one of the plaintiffs? In other words, you won today. What's your reaction?
Very pleased that we can go to the next level.
Now, what basically was upsetting you about all of this?
Well, that it was kept from us, that we had no notification until it was dropped in our laps. No meetings, no letters, nothing.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
And I'm going to have 3,000 wild monkeys in my backyard. Not very happy.
Oh, wow. Well, sir, we're not trying to be rude. I mean, this is our job as journalists to try to just ask. Can I ask you a couple of questions? You're the attorney who did the argument, sir. So just no comment from the county. All right. So you caught up with him. You're in better shape than I am. You're from Wink, one of the leading stations here in the Fort Myers area. Did he say why he didn't want to talk?
No, he just has no comment. He said, we heard what he said in the courtroom today, and then we can talk to the public information officer.
All right.
And of course, she can't speak to what his, next step is going to be, so that's why I wanted to talk to him.
Of course, when you try to get both sides of the story, that's good journalism. All right, well, thank you so much. What upsets you most about how this whole thing has been handled as a person who lives in the area?
It upsets me that Hendry County thinks so little of their residents, that the taxes we pay, somebody coming in with promises of wonderful jobs and whatever else they promised the county, whatever changed hands is more important than all of the residents that live out there that pay taxes every year. We were just kind of pushed aside and non-important.
And do you have any idea who's really behind this facility?
No.
Do you have any idea where these monkeys, these 3,200 wild monkeys would come from?
No.
Does that bother you?
Yes.
Do you feel you're owed more explanations?
Yes.
What, if there was a public hearing, what would you ask?
I would ask, why here? Why in my backyard? And if this was so important, why weren't we considered? Why weren't we asked? If they think this is up and legitimate, there should have been no reason not to have a meeting with the residents if they think it's okay. The fact that we were never notified and there was no meeting leads me to believe that they know this is not a good thing and they know that we would have fought it, and so they scooted it under the rug so that we wouldn't know until they thought it was too late.
Christine Cowan, you're the local attorney, a Florida attorney who is assisting Animal Legal Defense Fund in this motion. First of all, how big was this decision today?
Well, it's a great decision and allows us to move forward, and it resoundingly rejected the county's argument that we're not entitled to have open and transparent government when there hasn't necessarily been a meeting. The way that they were interpreting the law, it would have allowed the county to have backdoor decision making and use a technicality to keep the public out, and that has been resoundingly rejected by this judge.
The attorney for the county had compared this to, oh, well, if you open a restaurant, you go in and apply for a restaurant, they don't need to have a public hearing, and you don't violate the Sunshine Law when you approve a restaurant, the zoning department approves a restaurant.
Well, a restaurant is clearly a commercial development, and so there's not really any question that that's allowed, and that's part of the the planning and zoning department's usual business. What's not allowed and what's not part of the usual course of business is placing a wild primate breeding facility catering to biomedical research in an area zoned for agriculture. So this was far from a routine decision, far from a run-of-the-mill matter. This should have been brought to the county commissioners in a public meeting.
So the local residents who are part of this lawsuit against the monkey breeding facility say they had every right to know that the county was planning on putting more than 3,000 monkeys in their neighborhood. And they say that in neglecting to tell them, the government leaders in this community have forgotten who they really work for. I'm Jane Velez Mitchell for Jane Unchained, reporting from Hendry County, Florida.